Hello everybody. In this video we'll learn about Gen Alpha. I'm Rima Stanley, lecturer at Triple M College of Nursing. The objectives of this video is to know what is Gen Alpha, who is Gen Alpha, characteristics of Gen Alpha, what are the problems of Gen Alpha, and also the tips to manage Gen Alpha. So now let us see what is Gen Alpha. Well, this name is given to the generation of people who are born or will be born between 2010 and 2024. Well, Generation Alpha are members who, as you know, they are so immersed in technology since birth. They spend more time online and in front of computer screens, smartphones, and tablets than any previous group. And due to the longer life expectancy trends, these members of this generation will live to see the 22nd century as per the prediction. Now, well, let's see who is again Gen Alpha. Well, Gen Alpha is a successor to Generation Z, which comprises those born between 1997 and 2012. And Gen Alpha are mostly the children of millennials, those who are born between 1981 and 1996. And this term Gen Alpha was first coined in 2005 by demographer Mark McTrindle. And according to him, he says Gen Alpha is not a return to the old but the start of something new. It's the start of something new beginning. Okay, so that is Gen Alpha. Now let us see what are the characteristics of Gen Alpha. So when comparing certain traits with the previous generation, especially Generation Z, the Alpha generation is very different. And here is some of the emerging features of this new generation. First and foremost, they are hyper connected. Alpha generations are permanently connected, such is their attention to new technologies that it becomes a way of life for them. Generation Alpha is projected to be the most techie savvy and digitally empowered generation in the history, and the time spent online and in front of screen will likely exceed that of previous generation. And the next thing is they like to be independent. So they are independent when it comes to making their own decision and managing their digital identities, and they expect their individual needs and preferences to be taken into account. For example, a 2 years old child now expects to be asked what food and what meal he needs for his lunchbox, what types of clothes he needs to wear for an outing, right? Okay, so that's the kind of nature the children of Alpha belongs to. Next, they are highly visual. Video will be their preferred format. In addition to that, video game will boost their visual skills, improving their eye-hand coordination and their ability to easily switch tasks. Next is technological, being hyper-connected. That means they become more experts in the use of new technologies, which can actually facilitate their digital learning and opens up a wide range of possibilities in their generation. And last is they are diverse. So in this case, diversity is not only refers to demographics such as ethnicity or gender, but also the kind of preferences to taste, their lifestyles and point of views. So, keeping this in mind, it is important for us to understand in our upbringing and rearing the Gen Alpha. Okay, so now let's see what are some of the problems of Generation Alpha. Alpha generation children are born at a time when technological devices are getting smarter and everything is connected. The physical and the digital are coming together and they grow up, new technologies will become part of their lives. Their experiences, their attitudes, and their expectations of the world. And some neuroscientists and psychologists point out that this will have many positive consequences, but also some negative ones that do not necessarily affect everybody equally. So, here are some of the points such as reduce attention span and concentration. As you know, they are used to using several screens at once and quickly scanning informations. Their attention span and concentration may or will get impaired. Next is less time for socializing. Spending much of the time of the day online, both inside and outside the home, reduces the time for learning, playing, and socializing in a more traditional ways of doing things. In fact, much of the socialization is being transferred to social networks. Next, less development of creativity and imagination. See, when informations are so easily accessible for them, um, and the use of physical toys has reduced, right? And their questioning skills has reduced. So the development of imagination and creativity as well will suffer. Next is reduce ability to achieve happiness. A psychologist, Jean M. Twain, notes in her book, I, Jean, that there is a link between the rise of smartphones and social media and the increase in depression, anxiety, and loneliness in today's youth. So, in short, alpha are presented in a generation marked by new technologies and social network system with uncertain future in the face of rapidly changing economy and political system. So here are some of the tips for parenting and raising Gen Alpha kids for the millennial parents. As we all know, this generation is 100% in digital world. It is important for us to create a path that gives them opportunity for creativity and development. So let's see each of these points. First of all is to update your digital knowledge. Your generation alpha child is all about digital technology. So it is important as well that we keep up with them. So try not to live under a rock rather than, familiarize yourself with the virtual world. The better you are at it, the more they will find you relevant. Or else they'll say, Mom, you are all generations, right? They push you away. Next is to be flexible. The days of authoritarian parenting is long gone. Our parents had a complete control over us, but the dynamics are now different, right? At the same time, it doesn't mean that you say yes to everything that they ask for. It is important for us as parents to set limits wherever necessary and say no, okay, for something that is not good for the growth. Next is to set screen rule. The rule of screen gadgets time and must be actually clear before the children have access to it, and also ensure what is okay and what is not on the internet and social media before you actually allow them on the gadgets. It is important for us as parents to be aware of what content they are exposed to without being too snoopy. Children don't like we being too snoopy, but be around to help them as and when necessary. So, it is important to balance the family time with your screen time, set rules of how much time they can spend on the screen. Next is to focus on the heart. This generation is drenched with stimulation of the brain through technology. The part we need to pay more attention is to work on the heart. That is, focus on how to build the right emotions and feelings among the current uh, generation, that is the alpha generations. Next is socialization. As you know, this generation has decreased social interaction in the outdoors. However, most of the interaction and relationship is online. So, as parents, it is our job to teach them resilience and compassion, and also to engage them in family, maybe some events, ceremonies, any family functions, common gathering. It is important to involve them, to have them in the process of socialization. Next is to be a role model. Let them choose how much of your qualities they want to take on, right? So it is important us again as parents to create an atmosphere of healthy living in your home so that your children will grow happier and healthier. To be available, important of all is to establish a good rapport with your children, have open communication with them, and be the person, that one person they can count on more than anyone else. So, keynotes. Generation Alpha refers to demographic succeeding Generation Z, born between 2010 and 2024. Generation Alpha is mostly the children of millennials or Generation Y, and it is expected to be the largest generation in the history. Technology plays a significant role in the life of Generation Alpha, with shaping their experiences and behavior. Generation Alpha will confront unique circumstances, particularly environmental changes such as extreme weather events, which are projected to increase in the prevalence during their lifetimes. Reference mostly online taken. Please check on these links. Thank you for watching this video.